Hi, everybody. Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of the Merakihugs Inspiration Hop, and I have a fun project to share with you featuring some of the new February release products. Here are some of the products that I have. This is the Meraki Moments Hugs die, and this has 3 different dies that you can layer up to create that hugs. It also coordinates well with the Meraki Moments Hugs stamp set. And then we also have the Meraki Moments Just a Note die set. Again, on the back of the packaging, it shows you how you can layer up those dies to create that Just a Note word die sentiment. And then we have the Meraki Artisan Flora dies. This is the Peony. And it shows you on the back of the packaging a beautiful layered peony. It's only 2 dies, but there's a lot of different pieces within the die. Now inside the packaging there is a guide that shows you how to layer up all the die cuts, which was invaluable for me. I'm going to start with some pink cardstock. These are all by Concord 9th. This first shade that I'm using, which is the darkest, is actually a new shade that just came out at Concord 9th called Wildberry. And I cut the largest part of that peony bloom, and then I'm just working my way over. I'm following the guide. This next shade of cardstock is Dragonfruit, and you see that little triangle. There's a little triangle that allows you to line up your dies. You know exactly where to place it. And then this next piece, I believe this is Sweet Pea cardstock, all by Concord 9th. It also has that triangle, so you know exactly where to line it up. And then there's one more triangle piece, which I did out of some pink lemonade cardstock, and that is the last one with the triangle. So while I have the 4 different layers, I'm going to go ahead and glue them together using a little Bearly Arts glue. And I put just a little bit around the triangle backing. I didn't completely adhere the piece. That way, if I want to bend it or kind of zhuzh it, it gives me the ability to do that if you don't completely adhere it down. Okay, so just lining up those triangles. Could it be easier? Could it be more delightful? Now, there are a lot more little tiny accent pieces that you can add. I'm going to go ahead and do this one right here. And this little piece I'm doing out of that pink lemonade again. So it's going to be the same shade. And this kind of covers up that triangle. So that'll cover that up. It makes like a little center bud that would go in the heart of the peony bloom. And then all these other little pieces. Now I'm starting to run out of any shade lighter. I don't have anything lighter. So I die cut this out of white cardstock. And then what I'm going to do is blend a little ballet slipper ink onto it very lightly. So this is going to be very subtle, and it'll give you the illusion of having another shade of cardstock. If you don't have a ton of shades, you can do this. Die cut them out of white cardstock. Add the color by ink blending, and then I'll glue this on over top of that pink lemonade, and it gives you that extra shade brighter. Now there's a lot of other little pieces that are like accents that you can add. So you can do as much or as little. You can make it as detailed and fabulous or as simple and beautiful. Either one looks great. Really. And then all these other little accent pieces, it's all included in that one big die, and you really need to refer to the guide in the packaging to know where all these little pieces go. So here I'm popping on little bits at the top of the petals and some down at the bottom. Here I die cut these little pieces out of Dragonfruit cardstock, and I'm adhering them onto that dark Wildberry base of the bloom so you can see the color contrast. Then I'm going to do some more. This time I die cut these little accents out of that pink lemonade cardstock, and I'll glue them onto one of the petals. I don't even know how to explain what I'm doing. I really am just following the guide. A little bit of glue, popping them on the side, and all these little accents just add to the detail. I'm going to go ahead and do another bloom after this out of some Sorbet, Grapefruit, and Nectar cardstock, and I'm not going to add quite all the bells and whistles. It's going to be a little bit simpler. See if you can even tell the difference. So here we have the Sorbet, Grapefruit, and Nectar cardstock by Concord 9th. I'll have everything linked in the description box if I forget to mention it. And then I went ahead and die cut a few out of white, and I took the Nectar and gave it a very light wash, and that'll give you that extra 4th layer of a lighter shade. How's everyone doing in February? Can you believe it? It feels like spring here in Illinois. I don't think it's supposed to quite feel as warm as it is, but I'm not complaining. I am enjoying the sunshine. I can tell the days are starting to get longer. Hank has already started going back in the pond. I mean, as soon as he sees that the water's not frozen, he's down in there taking a dip. And it's kind of a pain, to be honest, because you got to try to dry him off. You ever try to dry off a dog that doesn't really want to be dried off? It's not the best time, but it sure does make him happy. And the other thing I had to do now that it's warm is go buy more squeaky balls because he loves to play fetch. We haven't been doing it in the snow and in the cold weather. I'm not going out there playing fetch. But now that it's warm, I realized we didn't have any balls. Okay, here is the Greenery die, and you can layer up these leaves just like you can layer up the peony. So they have two different leaves like a base, and they have all these other little accent die cuts, which I didn't do, mostly just because I was too lazy. But if you really want to zhuzh up your leaves, you can add all those extra details out of different colors of solid color cardstock. You want to go darker to lighter. If you want to do that, but I want to show you an option of just using the leaves, just the bases, keeping it simple. So you got the simple leaves and the real zhuzhed up peonies. And now here is that Hugs die. I'm going to do the shadow backer out of vellum and then the word die out of matte gold. It's kind of my favorite recipe for a word die. And so you've got that vellum shadow, and then you have all the little words, which are individual, out of matte gold. I'm going to glue those gold words onto that vellum backer. But back to the squeaky ball saga, because I know you're all on the edge of your seat wondering if we're going to solve this mystery. Where do all the squeaky balls go? Where do they go? Who's stealing them? I need security camera to figure out who is stealing those squeaky balls. Maybe they're all rolling down into the pond. I don't know, but these are the things I think about at night. Like, I buy the balls and then they're gone. Like, I just need to know. Okay, so I glued on the Hugs. I'm going to use these little foam squares. These are by Simon Says Stamp. They're actually black, and I don't often, I've made a New Year's resolution to use up all my foam squares that are kicking around. Like, why not? I have so many different types of adhesive, and I keep buying more. And so I'm going to use up what I have, like so. So I popped those up. I did trim a cream panel that I taped onto a white card base. Now I'm just gluing the leaves and just kind of tucking them in. Makes you feel like a florist. You know what I mean? And I got the two different shades of leaves. So you got light and dark. I believe it's Lemongrass and the new shade Grasshopper, which look beautiful together. Now for the Hugs sentiment, I was trying to decide if I wanted to do it landscape style, which looks really pretty. It was unexpected that it would even work this way, but it definitely does work that way. But at the end of the day, I'm a portrait gal. I don't know why. I think I'm just set in my ways. I did put just two little slivers of foam tape behind the matte gold so you don't really see it with that vellum. Popped it up and I added a few sparkling clear sequins in 3 different sizes, kind of scattering them around the Hugs word die. 3 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and this card is finished. Make sure and check out the rest of the Merakihugs Inspiration Hop, and there's information in my description box on how to enter the giveaway for your chance to win a $100 gift card to Crafty Meraki. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.